Cave paintings are paintings found on cave walls and ceilings, and especially refer to those of prehistoric origin. The earliest such figurative paintings in Europe date back to the Aurignacian period, approximately 30,000 to 32,000 years ago, and are found in the Chauvet Cave in France. The exact purpose of the Paleolithic cave paintings is not known. Evidence suggests that they were not merely decorations of living areas, since the caves in which they have been found do not have signs of ongoing habitation. They are also often located in areas of caves that are not easily accessible. Some theories hold that cave paintings may have been a way of communicating with others, while other theories ascribe a religious or ceremonial purpose to them. The earliest non-figurative rock art in Europe dates back to approximately 40,000 years ago, and is found in the Castillo cave in Cantabria, Spain. History of discovery, age. Nearly 340 caves have now been discovered in France and Spain that contain art from prehistoric times. Initially, the age of the paintings had been a contentious issue, since methods like radiocarbon dating can produce misleading results if contaminated by samples of older or newer material, and caves and rocky overhangs are typically littered with debris from many time periods. But subsequent technology has made it possible to date the paintings by sampling the pigment itself and the torch marks on the walls. The choice of subject matter can also indicate chronology. For instance, the reindeer depicted in the Spanish cave of Cueva De Las Manos places the drawings in the last ice age. The oldest known cave art comes from the cave of El Castillo in northern Spain. Hand stencils and discs made by blowing paint onto the wall in El Castillo cave were found to date back to at least 40,800 years, making them the oldest known cave art in Europe, €5 10,000 years older than previous examples from France. This date coincides with the earliest known evidence for Homo sapiens in Europe. Because of the cave art's age, some scientists have conjectured that the paintings may have been made by Neanderthals. The second oldest known cave art is that of Chauvet Cave in France. These paintings date to earlier than 30,000 BCE according to radiocarbon dating. Some researchers believe the drawings are too advanced for this era and question this age. However, more than 80 radiocarbon dates had been obtained by 2011, with samples taken from torch marks and from the paintings themselves, as well as from animal bones and charcoal found on the cave floor. The radiocarbon dates from these samples show that there were two periods of creation in Chauvet, 35,000 years ago and 30,000 years ago. One of the surprises was that many of the paintings were modified repeatedly over thousands of years, possibly explaining the confusion about finer paintings that seem to date earlier than cruder ones. In 2009, cavers discovered drawings in Chauvet Cave in Romania, stylistically comparable to those at Chauvet. An initial dating puts the age of an image in the same range as Chauvet, about 32,000 years old. In Australia, cave paintings have been found on the Arnhem Land Plateau showing megafauna which are thought to have been extinct for over 40,000 years, making this site another candidate for oldest known painting. However, the proposed age is dependent on the estimate of the extinction of the species seemingly depicted. Another Australian site, Nawalga Mang, has charcoal drawings that have been radiocarbon dated to 28,000 years, making it the oldest site in Australia and among the oldest in the world for which reliable date evidence has been obtained. Other examples may date as late as the early Bronze Age, but the well-known Magdalenian style seen at Les Sceaux in France and Altamira in Spain died out about 10,000 BCE, coinciding with the advent of the Neolithic period. Some caves probably continued to be painted over a period of several thousands of years. Themes and patterns. The most common themes in cave paintings are large wild animals, such as bison, horses, aurochs, and deer, and tracings of human hands as well as abstract patterns, called finger flutings. The species found most often were suitable for hunting by humans, but were not necessarily the actual typical prey found in associated deposits of bones. For example, the painters of Les Sceaux have mainly left reindeer bones, but this species does not appear at all in the cave paintings, where equine species are the most common. drawings of humans were rare and are usually schematic as opposed to the more detailed and naturalistic images of animal subjects. One explanation for this may be that realistically painting the human form was forbidden by a powerful religious taboo. Pigments used include red and yellow ochre, hematite, manganese oxide and charcoal. Sometimes the silhouette of the animal was incised in the rock first, and in some caves all or many of the images are only engraved in this fashion, taking them somewhat out of a strict definition of cave painting. Similarly, large animals are also the most common subjects in the many small carved and engraved bone or ivory pieces dating from the same periods. But these include the group of Venus figurines, which have no real equivalent in cave paintings. Theories and interpretations. Henri Breuil interpreted the paintings as being hunting magic, meant to increase the number of animals. Another theory, developed by David Lewis Williams and broadly based on ethnographic studies of contemporary hunter-gatherer societies, is that the paintings were made by Paleolithic shamans. The shaman would retreat into the darkness of the caves, enter into a trance state, and then paint images of their visions, perhaps with some notion of drawing power out of the cave walls themselves. Ardale Guthrie, who has studied both highly artistic and publicized paintings and a variety of lower-quality art and figurines, identifies a wide range of skill and ages among the artists. He hypothesizes that the main themes in the paintings and other artifacts are the fantasies of adolescent males, who constituted a large part of the human population at the time. However, in analyzing handprints and stencils in French and Spanish caves, Dean Snow of Pennsylvania State University has proposed that a proportion of them, including those around the spotted horses in Pigments, were of female hands. Locations: Southern Africa. At Ukalemba/Drakensberg Park, South Africa, now thought to be some 3,000 years old, the paintings by the San people who settled in the area some 8,000 years ago depict animals and humans, and are thought to represent religious beliefs. Human figures are much more common in the rock art of Africa than in Europe. Cave paintings found at the Apollo 11 cave in Namibia are estimated to date from approximately 23,000 to 25,000 BCE. Horn of Africa. In 2002, a French archaeological team discovered the Lars Geel cave paintings on the outskirts of Hargeisa in the northwestern Somaliland region of Somalia. Dating back around 5,000 years, the paintings depict both wild animals and decorated cows. They also feature herders, who are believed to be the creators of the rock art. In 2008, Somali archaeologists announced the discovery of other cave paintings in Somalia's northern Tambalan region, which the researchers suggest includes one of the earliest known depictions of a hunter on horseback. The rock art is in the Ethiopian-Arabian style, dated to 1000 to 3000 BCE. Additionally, between the towns of Laskori and Alao in northern Somalia lies Karin Huigain, the site of numerous cave paintings of real and mythical animals. Each painting has an inscription below it, which collectively have been estimated to be around 2,500 years old. Karagain's rock art is in the same distinctive Ethiopian-Arabian style as the Lars Geel and Tambalan cave paintings. Around 25 miles from Laskori is found Jilwaita, another key rock art site. North Africa. Many cave paintings are found in the Tarsili and Aja Mountains in southeast Algeria. A UNESCO World Heritage Site, the rock art was first discovered in 1933 and has since yielded 15,000 engravings and drawings that keep a record of the various animal migrations, climatic shifts, and change in human inhabitation patterns in this part of the Sahara from 6000 BCE to the late Classical period. Other cave paintings are also found at the Akakos, Msaksetafet and Tadrat in Libya and other Sahara regions including Air Mountains, Niger and Tibesti, Chad. The Cave of Swimmers is a cave in southwest Egypt, near the border with Libya, in the mountainous Gilf Kabir region of the Sahara Desert. It was discovered in October 1933 by the Hungarian explorer Leszedlaq Dalma Sy. The site contains rock painting images of people swimming, which are estimated to have been created 10,000 years ago during the time of the most recent ice age. Australia. Significant early cave paintings have been found in Kakad, Australia. Ochre is not an organic material, so carbon dating of these pictures is often impossible. Sometimes the approximate date, or at least, an epoch, can be surmised from the painting content, contextual artifacts, or organic material intentionally or inadvertently mixed with the inorganic ochre paint, including torch soot. A red ochre painting discovered at the center of the Arnhem Land Plateau depicts two emu-like birds with their necks outstretched. They have been identified by a paleontologist as depicting the megafauna species Chnionis, giant birds thought to have become extinct more than 40,000 years ago. However, this evidence is inconclusive for dating. It may merely suggest that Chnionis became extinct at a later date than previously determined. The Whitsunday Islands are also home to a surprising number of cave paintings. The cave paintings by the seafaring Ngero people on Hook Island, Australia, are remarkable for their non-figurative, non-representational, or abstract content. Their significance is a mystery. Europe. Well-known cave paintings include those of Lesource, France, Grotte de Cassoc, France, Pigments, near Cabarets, France, La Marche, in La Socle-les-Carcenteaux, France, Les Cambarels, in Les Ezes de Taillac, Dordogne, France, Chauvet Cave, near Vallon-Pont d'Arc, France, Cave of Neo, France, Cosca Cave, with an entrance below sea level near Marseille, France, Font de Gorme, in the Dordogne Valley in France, Cave of Altamira, near Santa Lana del Mar, Cantabria, Spain, Cueva de la Pasiega, Cuevas de El Castillo, Cantabria, Spain. Other sites include Creswell Crags, Nottinghamshire, England, Kolobor Cave in Romania, and Magura Cave in Bulgaria. Rock painting was also performed on cliff faces, but fewer of those have survived because of erosion. One example is the rock paintings of Astorvansami in the same area of Finland. When Marcelino Sanz de Sotoyola first encountered the Magdalenian paintings of the Altamira Cave, Cantabria, Spain in 1879, the academics of the time considered them hoaxes. Recent reappraisals and numerous additional discoveries have since demonstrated their authenticity, while at the same time stimulating interest in the artistry of Upper Paleolithic peoples. India. The Bhimatka rock shelters exhibit the earliest traces of human life in India. A number of analyses suggest that some of these shelters were inhabited by humans for more than 100,000 years. The earliest paintings on the cave walls are believed to be of the Mesolithic period, dating to 30,000 years ago. The most recent painting, consisting of geometric figures, date to the medieval period. Executed mainly in red and white with the occasional use of green and yellow, the paintings depict the lives and times of the people who lived in the caves, including scenes of childbirth, communal dancing and drinking, religious rites and burials, as well as indigenous animals. North America. Native artists in the Chumash tribes created cave paintings that are located in present-day Santa Barbara, Ventura, and San Luis Obispo counties in Southern California. They include well-executed examples at Burro Flats Painted Cave and Chumash Painted Cave State Historic Park. There are also Native American pictogram examples in caves of the southwestern United States. Cave art that is 6,000 years old was found in the Cumberland Plateau region of Tennessee. South America. Serra da Capivara National Park is a national park in the northeast of Brazil with many prehistoric paintings. The park was created to protect the prehistoric artifacts and paintings found there. It became a World Heritage Site in 1991. Its best-known archaeological site is Pedro Farida. It is located in southeast state of Piauí, between latitudes 8°26' 50" and 8°54' 23" south and longitudes 42°19' 47" and 42°45' 51" west. It falls within the municipal areas of Zao Poundo Raimundo Nonato, Zao Poundo Joe Poundo do Piauí, Coronel José Copyright Dias and Canto do Buriti. It has an area of 1,291.4 square kilometers. The area has the largest concentration of prehistoric small farms on the American continents. Scientific studies confirm that the Capiva mountain range was densely populated in prehistoric periods. Cueva de las Manos is a cave located in the province of Santa Cruz, Argentina, 163 km south of the town of Perito Moreno, within the borders of the Francisco P. Moreno National Park, which includes many sites of archaeological and paleontological importance. The hand images are often negative. Besides these, there are also depictions of human beings, guanacos, rheas, felines and other animals, as well as geometric shapes, zigzag patterns, representations of the sun, and hunting scenes. Similar paintings, though in smaller numbers, can be found in nearby caves. There are also red dots on the ceilings, probably made by submerging their hunting bowlers in ink, and then throwing them up. The colors of the paintings vary from red to white, black or yellow. The negative hand impressions date to around 550 BC, the positive impressions from 180 BC, while the hunting drawings are calculated to more than 10,000 years old. Most of the hands are left hands, which suggests that painters held the spraying pipe with their dexterous hand. Southeast Asia, there are rock paintings in caves in Thailand, Malaysia, Indonesia, and Burma. In Thailand, caves and scarps along the Thai-Burmese border, in the Phetchabun range of central Thailand, and overlooking the Mekong River in Nakhon Sawan province, all contain galleries of rock paintings. In Malaysia, the oldest paintings are at Gua Tambun in Perak, dated at 2,000 years, and those in the painted cave at Naya Caves National Park are 1,200 years old. The anthropologist Ivor Hugh Norman Evans visited Malaysia in the early 1920s and found that some of the tribes were still producing cave paintings and had added depictions of modern objects including what are believed to be cars. In Indonesia, the caves at Maros in Sulawesi are famous for their handprints. About 1,500 negative handprints have also been found in 30 painted caves in the Sangkulayang area of Kalimantan. Preliminary dating analysis puts their age in the range of 10,000 years old. The Padaling caves of Burma contain 11,000-year-old paintings and many rock tools. See also, megalith, petroglyph, prehistoric art, Upper Paleolithic art, rock-cut architecture, sympathetic magic, list of Stone Age art, references. Further reading, Fage, Luc Henry. Chazine, Jean-Michel. Bonio a Euro Memory of the Caves. La Kalimanthrope. ISBN A978-2-9536616-1-3 Head, Thomas. Clegg, John, eds. Aesthetics and Rock Art. Ashgate Publishing. ISBN A0-7546-3924-Exa, Curtis, Gregory. The Cave Painters, Probing the Mysteries of the World's First Artists. Knopf. ISBN A1-4000-4348-4. Nietzsche-Vattel, Joseph. Immersive Access in the Apse of Lassalle. Techno-Noetic Arts 3, 181 192 doi, 10.13861 External links, Bradshaw Foundation. The Recording of Cave Paintings Around the World, Pre-Art Database of European Prehistoric Art, American Rock Art Research Association, Tour of Afghan Cave Paintings from BBC News. La Kalimanthrope Rock Art of Borneo, Journey Through Art History, an outline of prehistoric art with emphasis on cave paintings from around the world.